Now it's time for our final team. Momentix is led by CC student Anna Glibertson and CC graduate Alana Aamodt. Please join me in welcoming Momentix.
Thanks, guys. You have to grab one thing. We're going to sneak behind you really quick. The big reveal. Thanks. Hi, my name's Alana. I'm a 2018 CC grad with a degree in physics.
And I'm Anna, a current CC senior majoring in physics and integrative design.
And we are the founders of Momentix, a toy company aimed at kids ages 8 through 12 that inspires creative confidence and teaches an intuition for physics through chain reaction machines. This is a chain reaction machine, also known as a Rube Goldberg machine, and our kit provides the key connecting pieces that make them easier to make. And while Rube Goldberg machines are really fun, we're here today because of a big problem: the lack of diversity in STEM. US engineering undergraduates are only 19% women and 16% people of marginalized identities. Because science aptitude is learned and not innate, this is a huge waste of potential. So what causes this imbalance? We believe the problem starts young. Not all kids have equal access to quality educational resources. Science as a subject is intimidating, which disproportionately affects girls and people of marginalized identities. And our education system focuses on immediate success, leaving no space for failure in the learning process. We believe Rube Goldberg machines are a tool to address these root causes of STEM's diversity problem. Rube Goldberg machines are accessible. Anything can be upcycled into a chain reaction. They're fun and they're creative, and they encourage natural problem-solving skills. And they require failure and resilience. This attitude, called grit, has been linked to increased academic success as well as increased success in the workforce. And despite the importance of failure, however, I do want to say that there's a threshold, and I found it when I was 8 years old, because I loved Rube Goldberg machines, and I still do. But the levers and pulleys that were really easy to draw were hard to build, because it turns out Scotch tape and cardboard do not make a structurally sound lever. That was the original inspiration for Momentix, a gender-inclusive, research-based STEM toy kit. Our durable wooden pieces can be combined to make levers, pulleys, and ramps. Every kid we've tested with has found a completely new way to use our pieces, and we're currently at 68 combinations and counting. We also include extras like string, balls, and cups, so every kid feels like they can start building right when they open our box. Rather than boring instructions, we include our open-ended idea booklet, which encourages kids to use everything from Barbies to Hot Wheels and anything else they can find in their chain reactions. We also include our adaptation of the engineering design process, which we like to call the 6 steps to getting unstuck. Finally, we have our deck of 30 challenge cards, which range from create a machine that makes a noise to find a way to include a spoon. They range in difficulty and can be combined for even increasingly hard challenges. And this is just what comes in the box. There's even more on our website and app. 81% of kids between the ages 8 and 12 use YouTube, a site where Rube Goldberg machines have hit millions of views. On our site, kids can plan their ideas with our 2D contraption designer. They can share videos with their friends, and they can participate in online community challenges. 1 in 3 girls in STEM classes say they don't feel supported by teachers and classmates. And while we can't change this culture overnight, we can create a really supportive and inclusive online Momentix community. It costs $18 to make our physical kit, and we plan to sell them for $39.99 on our website. An additional $8 a month will get you our subscription kit, which will give additional challenges and pieces to keep your kit growing. And because equity in STEM starts with equity and education, we offer a 15% teacher discount.
Our product sits at the crossroads of the $1.35 trillion US education market and the $27 billion US toy market. Teachers and parents are our buyers, but at the core of our market are our users, kids ages 8 to 12. While the STEM toy market is growing, the vast majority of our competitors' products are screen-intensive or electronic. While we value our online community, Momentix is different because we're grounded in tactile play. In a year of product testing, we've gotten to know this market and validated our product market fit. On average, 9 out of 10 parents surveyed asked us some variation of, when can I buy this? But all of this didn't happen overnight. Last year, we came to you with an idea, a toy kit. We received funding to design, prototype, and brand. Despite Alana working full-time since her graduation and me being a full-time double major student with 2 on-campus jobs, we've accomplished a lot. We've gone through 4 rounds of sketching, prototyping, testing, and refining, the very process our kit teaches to kids. We've tested with parents, with teachers, and with kids. We've taught ourselves machining, 3D modeling, Adobe, and laser cutting. We've expanded our social media presence. We've attended marketing seminars. We've consulted with educational toy experts. We've developed multiple relationships with international manufacturers, one of which made the toy sample you see in front of you today. And all of that led to this, the final Momentix design. We did exactly what we said we would do. Our kit is in front of you. Our website is just a few clicks away. You can go to momentixtoys.com right now to learn more about our product and sign up for our mailing list. And we've seen our kit work. 11-year-old Tony told us, when it doesn't work, I try and figure out what went wrong. STEM teacher Rich tells us he really believes in what we're doing. But we think 10-year-old Olivia sums it up best when she says, let's just say these are really cool. Seeing kids excited about Momentix makes us even more excited to bring our product to market, and we have a plan to do that. When I graduate in May, we will be able to fully transfer our potential energy to kinetic energy, moving full speed toward our September Kickstarter launch. By February of 2020, we will open our website for online sales. From there, we'll expand our outreach by partnering with schools and nonprofits. All of this translates to a projected total profit of $2.3 million by the end of 2022, and a profit margin of 32%, the industry standard for toys. But to get here, we'll need investment. We're asking for $25,000. $25K isn't enough for a small manufacturing run, but it is enough for the targeted advertising, high-quality branding, and web design we need to power the buzz of a $120,000 Kickstarter campaign. The remainder portion will cover the legal fees associated with making sure our website and our kit are safe for kids to use. Not only do we have a plan, but we're ready to execute. We're backed by a team of expert advisors in manufacturing, venture capital, and STEM education. Alana has a year of professional experience researching the retention of women in physics, and I have a year of AmeriCorps experience teaching science and math in underserved middle schools. A year in the business world has taught us it's not so different from the STEM world. It's a lot of hard work, It's a lot of asking questions, and a lot of the times, we're the only women in the room. But through a year of growth, one thing hasn't changed, our vision. To build a world where fun doesn't necessarily mean more, where people aren't afraid to try and fail, and where physics can be accessible and appealing to everyone.
So we want to say thank you all for being here today. We're really honored to be back on this stage, and we just want to say thank you in true Momentix fashion. Yeah. Yeah, and we'd love to take questions.
So I have a question about STEM. Have you ever thought of sort of enlarging it and to STEMmy?
STEMmy?
The I is for invention, and
Oh.
the E is for entrepreneurship.
I haven't heard that one.
And-
I've heard
But I love it.
STEAM.
And the reason for that is that problem solving is so inherent and very attractive, particularly to little girls. And one reason, or a number of reasons they lose interest in STEM is peer pressure, is lacking good teachers, mentors. And so I was so happy to see you are sensitive to the mentorship issue in your problem write-up. But there's a lot of loss of interest in STEM, and so if you expand it a little more, include these other two opportunities or ways of looking at it, I think it might be important.
Yeah, I think that's a great idea.
I
And
love
think
that.
that's really at the core of it. And I hope that becomes a more used word rather than STEM.
Do you see a professional, even adult application to this? You know, team building, I think of developers, right? Teams of developers who could spend time with this.
When we were,
love playing with
yeah,
Right,
we
right,
do.
right.
Our roommates have done so. We've definitely thought about that, and it's come up in the process of developing our product. I think that's not the mission driving us, and so we're starting here. But I could see expanding to that market because definitely it is very collaboration oriented and definitely fun for adults too.
Yeah,
So
we've had somebody suggest that it would be a great drinking game. I don't know. That is not our core of where we're going to start, but there's a lot of uses for this product. Yeah.
That could be some quick revenue. Just saying.
Great work. Love the grit emphasis. And I think Kickstarter is a good way to go. Give me a little more detail. Give us a little more detail on your marketing campaign to get that Kickstarter going in earnest, because it's all going to be about making sure that story's out there.
Yeah.
absolutely. I think we definitely plan to do targeted advertising, and that's partly why we really want to make sure we have a high-quality website, because we know that if people are seeing our Instagram, our Facebook ads, and then going to our website, it's got to be really good, so that we start building that mailing list base.
I would also say building our social media platforms up, because I think we know that Rube Goldberg machines have proven to be so viral and something people share naturally, and kind of taking that to our advantage to build up and make a really viral Kickstarter launch. Another thing we're thinking about is reaching out to our early adopters, such as teachers, and getting them really engaged, because we know that teachers and the increasingly millennial market is really word of mouth and excitement around the brand.
Yeah, teachers are a real market gateway for us. 'Cause
Well, and to that point, I think the video, you need a solid video story on that Kickstarter.
I agree.
Absolutely.
absolutely.
I want to say I thought the branding looked pretty well developed already, so I don't know that you really need to put that much more into it. I kind of stuck in my head like Louis Vuitton or something, so I like the colors and the logo. It's great.
Thank you.
It really is. My question was around the subscription model. What are they going to get for that $8 a month?
That's a great question. So we want it, obviously $8 a month isn't very much, so you're not going to get a full kit, but we're thinking an additional piece and an additional some sort of programming, whether it's instructions, brainstorming tools, challenges. one of each of those pieces. And I think a lot of the fun around that is it's going to be a surprise. So when you open it up, you won't know what you're getting, and you'll have to find a way to incorporate it into the things you already have.
I guess I'm still curious a little bit about how this is going to help with diversity in STEM. I think you have a really clear product, something that's going to keep kids interested, motivating, is going to excite teachers. I don't totally see how that will help keep, especially women or other underrepresented communities in STEM. So I'd like to see more development on that, or maybe some more of your thoughts. That's probably my main question.
Yeah, there's research that shows emphasizing the potential of STEM or STEME to be a creative pursuit and emphasizing its ability to have a social impact is really keeps girls more involved in STEM. So here's a graphic representing that. But if extracurricular pursuits like Momentix or in-class pursuits emphasize those aspects, then girls are more likely to stay involved. And additionally, we hope that the mentorship community that we strive to create is representative of many different identities, and that any kid using a platform can find someone that looks like them or is from somewhere like them or from a similar background to look up to and talk to and be a good mentor and role model.
Yeah, and additionally, that's really part of the core of why we're doing this. So we had that timeline that says kind of vaguely outreach and partnering with educators, but that's really something we've thought a lot about, and getting this in the hands of teachers is a way to introduce the idea of Rube Goldberg machines. And we're presenting the idea of Rube Goldberg machines alongside the terms of momentum and force and energy and the word physics, because I'm thinking back to, I loved Rube Goldberg machines like my entire life, and I honestly did not know what physics was until you get to high school. You see so many chemistry kits, biology kits, and so many coding kits now, but physics is still this kind of abstract thing, and just connecting that language with something that's like visual and intuitive and fun and not just about math is really important, I think, to the diversification of STEM.